race fans, welcome to the Thunderdome, and today we got an interesting race for you. Here is a track layout. In the lower left-hand corner is our start gate, and they're moving across the track. Just follow the arrows as they go around in a nice little S formation type looking track with looks like a creek going through. We had a lot of rain, so there's that dry bed is now active with flowing water. And you can see how we're end up in the upper right-hand corner. That is the end of the race. That's the finish line. Yes, indeed, this could be a really interesting race as they cross the water. Will they hydroplane across and crack up? We don't know, but we do have some jump gates in there. Yes, indeed, we do have some jump. There's jump number 1. You can go across the creek if you want to by jumping. Will you make it or not? That's the question. It could be a massive crack up or it could get you way out ahead. We don't know until somebody tries it. There's gate number 1 just past the first creek. And there's jump number 2. Yes, it's going across the creek right there. And that's around past gate number 2 there. As you can see it right there by gate 2. So you can go through gate 2 and go through the jump. And there's gate 3 as you're going through a lot of water to get through that one. And then you have the finish line way off in the distance. And here's our lineup. We got Snake on the pole position, and followed up by Spider, who decided not to be on the front line. He's hanging back. And then we got Reaper. And then we have, looks like Brother Love in the big old car there. Yes, indeed, that's Brother Love. Followed behind him with Hunter and that highway patrol car. Yes, those Snake guys. And then we got Wolf in the back behind his teammate Reaper. This could be an interesting race, and it looks like, yes, there's indeed, the cars are started and they're ready to rock and roll. The cars are off, and the flag has dropped, and looks like they're motoring out. And it does look like, yes, indeed, it is. Snake is way out front. He just took a lead in that buggy. Looks like he's already in like 4th or 5th gear already. That thing is flying. Yeah, that could be something that's going to be hard to catch. If he gets away, there's no catching him. And then you have Spider there right behind him. He's trying to tailgate, but he just can't keep up because that little bit of difference there. And there's Reaper right next to him with an eyeball on him. Said, hey, you get in front of me, I'm going to run you over. And we already have some pushing and shoving going on here. It looks like Wolf just ran in the back of Hunter's car, did a little dent in the backside, but not really drastic. Looks like they're just moving along, bumping and grinding. That's racing, boys and girls. And yes, indeed, it looks like, it does look like, yes, it's a pit maneuver going on right here. Looks like Spider did a pit maneuver on Brother Love's car, and he is just shot forward a little bit. That's interesting there, how that pit maneuver worked, but yes, he's still under control. He fishtailed a lot, and it does look like looks like Reaper is lining up on Brother Love's car. And then once again, here comes Wolf, just smacked in the backside of Hunter's car and put another dent in the back into that thing. It could be an interesting race. And then we have, yep, it's looking like a lot of crunching and grinding going on, but it's hard to say where this is going to happen. And it doesn't look like anybody's going for that jump. Looks like they're all going to be playing it safe in the first part to go through that first gate. And once again, I just say, looks like Snake is flying. He's in that high gear, and he's heading for the water. And looks like he might have a little problem with hydroplane across that, but I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Oh, and yes, indeed, a pit maneuver did happen between Spider and Brother Love, and he just went sliding right in front of Reaper's car. And looks like he just pile drived right into him. And, and yet, fair play is, looks like Spider is out of control because he just got whacked again by Wolf's car. And it does look like Brother Love's car is flying across those rocks, and he's all busted up pretty hard there. And it looks like it's like, yep, here comes a full-on smash right into a T-bone attack right there. And, oh, another pit maneuver put Reaper into the rocks, flied over, and just smacked right into the backside of Brother Love's car. That's not looking good. And he just got pile-drived and flew forward. And, yes, he did explode with shrapnel flying everywhere. And it looks like some massive damage was done to Reaper's car in the process from that explosion. And it does look like Brother Love is completely out of this game. His car is obliterated. And yes, indeed, it is a T-bone into the side of Spider's car. That's not looking good. That whole side of that car just got mashed in. And it does look like, yeah, you can see up there is Reaper's car is trying to get off the rocks. And there goes flying through the intersection. And is Wolf. It's like, okay, I'm going right through you guys, and we're moving on towards the next gate. And they have to do something to catch up because there goes Brother Love. Oh, he's a little sideways going through that gate right there. He's going a little too hot, and he's fishtailing around. I guess going in 6th gear through a gate isn't so great for you because you picked up a lot of hazards going over that water. And yes, it does. Looks like, as a result, it does look like Reaper is hitting the ramp at high speed. And let's just see, he can go over that ramp. And I hear it. Yeah! He goes flying over. I hear that screeching going over. I don't know if that's terror or just joy as they went flying over. He made that jump. And it's bypassed. But unfortunately, if you bypass that gate, you don't have any active guns at the moment. And here comes a tag teaming highway patrol in the rear with the gear, lining up on everybody, just waiting to see what they can do. And at the moment, it looks like they're trying to catch up with the two Wolf and Reaper cars. And yes, he is crossing the water there, and it looks to pick up a few hazards. A little fishtailing through that there. It looks like Hunter is. And we'll just see what's going to happen here as they're going around the corner. It looks like he did a Tokyo Drift around there. It looks like Wolf did around that corner. And there is the look side from the other side as we get our second camera view as they're flying up. Those highway patrol cars not looking good. And they're going through the next corner, and you can barely see that Brother Love is just... No, that's not Brother. That's Snake. Sorry, guys. Snake is flying out there through the corner. And it looks like Reaper's trying to catch up with them, and Wolf is right behind him. And they're ready to hit that. They might pick up a few hazards going across that water. That's hard to say what's going to happen there. That could be bad news for everybody. And yes, it looks like the highway patrol is having a hard time. It looks like they downshifted to get through that corner right there. They picked up too many hazards going over the water trying to catch up. And now they are gearing down, and, well, we'll just see what happens there. And, yes, well, he came around there, and it looks like he's burning rubber. Looks like he used a few of his points there, and he's just shifting through the gears really hard. And you can just see the smoke coming off those tires as he's trying to catch up on the rear cars right there. And there's Snake just flying. He's got a commanding lead going through that corner, but I hope he can make that corner because he is in top gear right there. He decided not to go through that second jump. Probably doesn't need it. He doesn't want to make any mistakes unless he can have a problem going through there. Hi from Chopper Dave. Got the high look there. As you can see how the track is laid out. It looks like the Wolf Reaper cars are right next to each other trying to... And here, whoa, here comes the highway patrol. Those guys are flying for some reason. They got a rocket booster on those things. They're just catching up out of nowhere. I don't know what the deal is right there, but they seem to be catching up really quickly. And those cars are the Reaper Hunter car and Wolf are in high gear. Interesting. We'll just see what happens in this corner. And yes, indeed, it does look like Spider's having a hard time making around, getting into gear right there. And looks like, Wolf went in a little hard, and he slid some around that corner, but he got it straightened out into that corner. And we'll just see what happens right there. And it does look like Reaper is trying to catch up with Snake's car. Snake seems to downshift a little bit, because he knows if he hits that water too hard, he may lose control and wipe out. And there is, you can see, looks like Reaper's already through that gate. He has made, oh man, what happened there? It looks like we got a crack up on the I-90. It looks like we had a pit maneuver or something happened here. Let's go back and look at the replay. Oh, he does. He comes in, hits the side of Wolf's car, does a pit maneuver. And yes, it's looking like he's fishtailing really hard. I don't know if he can, looks like he's going to lose control right here. And he goes smashing with that ram. He just flew right over top the rocks. And while it didn't hurt him very much, but he is flying over the rock pile right there in the creek bed. So it looks like he probably picked up a bunch of hazards in the process. And that's where he stops, right there. And it doesn't look like there's a lot of damage to his car, but you know, we'll just have to see. It looks like he's got that thing running. I can see I can see exhaust coming out the back. But it's going to be really interesting to see how he can make it out of that, because I don't know if there's any way. That's a pit area right there. And, oh, looks like Reaper is in high gear flying around these corners. Looks like he's going to try to do a Tokyo drift around that corner. And there's bullets flying. Oh, he looks like he clipped one and it exploded. Snake's car hit that hazard area, lost control, and exploded. That's all it needed to lose control, was that one shot. Because, oh, okay, yeah, it looked like a Magnum hit or something, and he had too many hazards and just lost control going over the water, and it just smashed up, cracked up, and exploded. That's bad. And here comes Hunter. He's about ready to cross the gate, and right behind him is Spider in his car. And it's looking like right now it is Reaper's race to lose at the moment, and it's hard to say, but it looks like the High Patrol is catching up pretty quickly, ripping through the gears. And yes, indeed, well, we're not really sure. Spider is, yeah, it looks like from the telemetry here, he's looking a little slow going through that gate, or heading around that corner, sadly. Oh, he is. He's got himself speeding up right there. He hit the water. Oh, he went through that water hazard at a high speed. It looks like he's picking up a bunch of hazards. That's not looking good for him, but we'll just see what happens right through there. And there goes, oh, yeah, it looks like Reaper's having a hard time getting around that corner. It looks like he's in top gear, and he didn't really slide around too well like he normally rips around in the corners. Oh, he did barely make through. He is through the gate. He is officially crossed the gate, but he hit that water hazard at high speed, so he's picking up a bunch of hazards. And it's not looking good for him. We'll just see how he can manage that little problem. And yes, oh, there's the, looks like that is Snake's car just laying there, all smashed up, not looking good. But it looks like they're trying to push that car back over. Hard to say. Oh, looks like Spider is flying through that corner too hard and may not be able to make it. Looks like he was in too high of a gear and is having a hard time to get around that corner. And it's looking like, well, what the heck happened here? It did look like Snake got his car squared away, went flying forward, and bullets went flying from Reaper's car and just wiped it out. Just exploded into a massive bullet holes, and he lost control of his car again. And here comes Hunter. He's lining up behind. And wow, how is he getting all this extra distance out of this thing? They have to have a rocket booster or something on that thing underneath. That thing is just catching up really quickly. I don't know how the Highway Patrol's doing all that. Just doesn't make any sense. But, you know, he's catching up with Reaper's car, and looks like there are bullets flying. It looks like he has enough to, I can see the round. Oh, Spider did not make it through the corner. He cracked up, hit those rocks, bounced off of them, and he's looked like he's getting major damage on the whole side of that car. That thing is looking really bad, and, oh, he lost control, went flying across the track, smacked into the other side, and in front of his car just crunched up, and oh, this is not looking good. He is up in the air flipping, and yes, he comes down on the other side of the rocks. That thing has crunched and munched. We don't have much of a car left anymore, but it looks like the driver is climbing out from underneath. And I think they've given up for the day of that one. That one is looking really bad when it comes to damage on that vehicle. And the bullets went flying from Hunter's car and just took out the rear tire. And it looks like a little bit of tumbling action happening with Reaper's car. And he's on his side sliding down the track. And yes, he went flying by. There goes Hunter, just went flying by. Looks like he's got this race squared away. And unless he can make this little bit going around the hazard of that Snake's car, yes, indeed, he does go through. This is a first win in, 3 races for the Hunter Spider team. So Hunter comes away with his first win of the season. It's looking good for him. And the points. And here comes Reaper coming up the backside, catching up, and said, hey, congratulations on your win. And yeah, that last shot of bullets in the backside taking out that tire was not a good thing. Thank you very much. And then here comes Snake Fluskin coming up the rear with the gear. And looks like that's your 1, 2, and 3 on the race for the day. And we have some DNFs for some other cars. So that looks like here's your winner. You got Hunter. He comes in with 25 points. We got Reaper coming in with 18. And Snake coming in with 7. And that leaves us with our season standings at the moment. Let's just take a look. We have Wolf and Reaper still at 142. We got Spider and Hunter with 98. Deskull and Spectre did not make the race due to some Badlands hazards happening out there with 55. Brother Love coming in with 49 and Snake. And then we have Moose and Enforcer. They also got handled someplace in the hazards out there in the wastelands. Probably got waylaid and they're probably late to the race with 38. So everybody, thank you for showing up for race day, and we will see you in the next one. So hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends, and we'll see you the next time. This is your Raceman.